Today we're going to forge a leaf key fob. First operation is take a 1/2 inch solid square bar and put a point on it. The point would be about 3/4 of an inch long. On 4 sides, the point in the center. Takes a heat to do this. Do it at the end, over the edge of the anvil. Dress it up a little bit, clean it up. On a nice point. The next step is to isolate the main body of the leaf. We do this with half blows, starting flat on the anvil, on the edge, using half face blows, turn it 90 degrees, keep hitting it, turn it back and forth, probably cut it down through about halfway through the bar. That makes the main body of the leaf. This next operation is to taper from the main body of the leaf back into the bar. We're going to use part of that taper as the stem, which will become the ring on the key fob, or the loop. Work that back probably 1.5 inches or so. We'll probably use a little more than half of that taper for the stem. This next step is to flatten the leaf, the main body of the leaf. We do it on the diamond. You can see that how I'm holding the bar. Use the regular face of the hammer for most of it. I use the peen of the hammer to spread once I get it down a little bit, and then go back to the main body of the hammer, the main face of the hammer. I like to have my leaves and my fobs about 1/8 of an inch thick on the sides and a little thicker in the center. This next operation is to put a mark on the back. It's my personal mark. Take a look and see which side has the little crown on it, and make the other side the back. One whack, get a good mark on the back. Next we're going to put the veins in the leaf. I don't use a chisel, I use a hammer with a sharp end on it. It's not really sharp, probably goes down to 3/16 of an inch thick. I've made this hammer for doing this kind of work. A Swedish hammer would work just as well. I like using this better than using chisel to make the veins. Next we'll cut the entire forging off of the bar, and then work it from then on with tongs. This is a hot cut that I made from a jackhammer bit. I don't use my good hammers to do cutting, so I use this ball peen, or I use any other hammer. Cut it almost all the way through, turn it, use the tongs to break it off, and find a safe place for that hot bar so nobody's going to get burned with it. There's nobody else in my shop right now, so I can set it there. Take the hardy out. Heat the stem back up and start working it. This is actually one of the most difficult parts of making this project. This stem has to be drawn out quite a ways. It's going to become the loop on the key fob, the thing that the ring is going to be snapped over. Keep lengthening it out. My hammer is actually has a little crown in it, so it works as a fuller. Just keep working it back and forth. It takes quite a while. The stem, I don't round this stem, and you'll see why in a little bit, but I don't round it. It becomes about 1/4 of an inch thick at the leaf, and then maybe 1/4 inch square at the leaf, and then tapers down actually both ways. Mostly the flat, with the leaf flat like that is the strongest taper. The other taper is a little bit less. It takes several heats to do this. You can't keep hitting on it while it's cold, or when you hit it when it's cooling down, you have to hit a little easier because you don't want to be splitting the end. Work it easy. Doesn't look like I'm hitting it later, but I am. After that stem is drawn out, for the most part, I'm going to cup the leaf. I'm going to dish it, and for that I have a wood block swage I've made. I use the brown side of a ball peen hammer, put the veined side down, and use the ball peen to push the back of the leaf in. Bend the tip over a little bit. This gives a really nice shape to the leaf. It cups it, puts the end out. Put your tools away after each operation so they're not in your way on the anvil. Bring it out. Clean up this stem a little bit. Next step is to put a small scroll on the end. It's a decorative, a secondary decorative. It's just a little scroll. Work it around. You'll see what it adds in a minute, a couple minutes. I'm going to bend that stem around a little mandrel, a little short mandrel I put in the hardy hole. And to do that, I have to hit that small scroll. So I took that small scroll and I dunked it in a little can of water to cool it so I could hit it without collapsing it. And then I just bend the rest of the stem around this mandrel into the shape I want it. There we go. That's our shape. Next is to heat the key fob back up and then use a wire brush to take the scale off of it. Whether you use a propane forge or a coal fire, you're going to get some scale, and a wire brush works well. That's a steel wire brush. Next we take I want to put a little bit of brass accent on it. I use a pure brass brush. This is actually just a barbecue grill cleaning brush. The bristles have to be pure brass. They can't be coated brass, otherwise it won't work. If you brush as I'm showing here, a little bit of the brass will transfer. The key fob still has to be several hundred degrees for this to work. You have to kind of get used to how much heat it takes to help with that transfer. I like to use Butcher's clear bowling alley wax instead of using witch's brew or a blacksmith mix that I used to. This makes a nice hard finish, and as soon as it cools, you can polish it and it has a nice hard finish. You generally don't want to breathe that smoke. It's kind of hard on the sinuses. There we go. Nice project.